Testing 1, 2, 3. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Tuesday, June 21st, 2022. My apologies for saying we'd be on a regular schedule last Thursday. I had missed the fact that they've added a new holiday on us. So yesterday was a market holiday, so we were dark. So let's see where we are this morning after taking a look at the risk disclosure. This room is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not to be considered financial advice. Results presented are hypothetical and not typical. Day trading comes with significant risk of loss and should be attempted only with risk capital that you can afford to lose. So let's get on to the charts. All right, the YM is in a long trade. Pre-market, the market's about to open. So far, it's a get-in-sync candidate, but if it hits that little blue line, that is money management. Good morning, Miles. That will take it off the table. And it hit money management just as we're about to. And it looks like, yeah, markets are open. We certainly won't be looking at the micro NQ to start with there. But the Russell, here's one that hits the stop. That almost certainly is a valid trade, just the way that bar looks, because the very last thing it did was hit the entry. So target. Now the question is, oh yeah, lots of time. So that is should be a valid winner to target 3, and now is trailing. And there's a stop out, or a small trailer, and a short setup at 93.8. Now lots of time to get into the short. And the YM is flat, and into the short, target 3. We're trailing target 4. And a small trailer. And there's a long on the YM. Long at 30,296. Money management at 325, target at 329. And the Russell giving us another long setup. You have to look into the second bar. It's a 5-second bar. from 3 to 8, or rather from 1 to 6 seconds from the setup. So possible ability to get into that. It's a break even, so nothing particular. The YM giving us another chance to get into that long trade. Let's see what soybeans did. Gives us a get in sync trade here. Coming up to the entry at 7 seconds. So yeah, definitely should be in the short. It hits target 1 and then comes back up for a 1-tick trail. So a small one and done win this morning on soybeans. Would have been nice to catch this long coming later. Yeah, 15-second entry bar, but then going on through all 3 targets and now trailing up nicely. And another short on the Russell. Another 5-second bar possibly there. Just depends on if it pulled back to the entry or not. Otherwise, it was too fast to catch. YM taking some heat and now bouncing off that swing low. See if it can work up through the EMAs. It follows the M2K, it's going to, yeah, and it just stopped out. So full stop out on the first trade on the YM this morning. 42 tick loss, 84 ticks on 2 positions. If tradable, that was a nice trade on the Russell. 3rd winner, if it was tradable. Look in on the mic, and there's another long on the YM at 291 this time. Money management at 322, target at 326. It did come through the EMAs. See if it can stay above. Although it's having trouble getting away from the EMAs, it looks like. And soybean stopping out of the long if you didn't take the short, get in sync shorter to begin with. So one and done either way you played that. And are we going to get? I don't think we've gotten. There's your entry. So, yeah, in another short on the Russell, micro Russell on Catapult. Doesn't know what it's going to do at the moment. Russell and the YM are going sideways at the moment. We'll have to see if they go up or down. And we got a short trade on the Russell and a long trade on the YM at the moment. Target 2 on the Russell. Target 3, there's a at least a third winner, if not a fourth. And trailing down on the Russell, 85.3. And the YM heading upward, and the Russell looks like it may follow it here. Yep, the Russell stops out on the trailer at 85.3. YM hits money management, and just a partial win. Doesn't quite make it up to target 2, or target 1 rather. So we go from 91 to 99, pick up 8 ticks, times 2 is 16, brings us to 68 down. Pound Aussie had a long setup that never triggered, and that's all we've had so far this morning. Let's look in on the NQ, the micro NQ, also catapult on the custom Renko 1/3 offset. It's a 6-point bar, 6-point, 24 ticks, with an 8-tick or 2-point offset. We're looking for 9. Of course, it's traded in Central Time, so our start time on my chart is 9:34, as I'm showing Eastern. And the long trade was too far before our start time at 4 minutes in. And there's plenty of time to get in, and reversing to long at 74 even, 574 even. Yeah, definitely lots of time to get into that long. Target 2, 3, almost target 4, but not quite. And trailing. Small crowd this morning. Please do say hello. And pushed a little further, but not yet. 11,599 even. Actually, yeah, that hit target 4 on the nose. 11,585 is the current stop. And nothing so far on the YM since our partial on the long trade. And micro NQ stopping out. All right, let's go back and take a look at crude. See what happened there. At 9 o'clock, There is our start time. So that short, I was watching micro crude, but looked like the same pattern. Not close, but not tradable. So the first trade is the long trade. That meanders about and stops and reverses at 94 into the short. Yeah, right there. So that is our stop and reverse at 94. Takes heat, gets almost right at the stop. Looks like it actually may have just barely missed touching it or just touched it. 21, yeah. I'm showing, my chart shows it touched it, but I didn't trigger the calculator. Comes back, hits target one, and break even stop. So the loss was 110.11 to 109.94, 34 ticks. We pick up 17 on, actually 3 tick adjustments. So we pick up 14. We're down 20, 15 on the stop. So we're down 20 and we go long. Stop and reverse recurs at 84. Which we survive. And hit target 1 for 24 ticks. That puts us positive. And we stop out at 110.09 for another 8 ticks. So we pick up 12 ticks on the session on our 3 trades. Not huge, but it's a winning session. And we'll take a look at the 10 a.m. when we get there. All right. Long trade on the micro NQ. And we'll come down and see what unleaded did. Also a 9 o'clock start. That's too early. Well, I don't. No, it goes too far too fast. Fortunately, because it would have been a full stop. Second trade is 3 seconds on that bar, never comes back the entry. That's not tradable. So our first trade of the morning is this long. Touches money management, not quite target 1. So we get 2 ticks net there. Actually, that one's also too fast to trade. So no trade there. So then our first trade becomes the long that may have been avoidable, just depending on how quickly it spiked up. It went up and back down in 15 seconds. But just a matter of how long it stayed above the entry. Probably should be in that trade, and that takes a full loss for 128 ticks. Then we pick up another long, I'm sorry. That one definitely gives us time, and that's also a full loss of 132. So we're down to 260 after those two. And that may be a place to stop, but depending on any circuit breakers you have in place. I'll go ahead and follow it out. And a third long that picks up, just barely hits money management, picks up a few ticks. $77.56 to $77.63, 714 ticks. So we're down 246 after three trades. Short, 5 seconds back the other way. That's definitely avoidable. Another 15-second bar. Don't know if we're in that or not. Second chance is definitely in. Doesn't get to money management. Stops and reverses at 27.27. Looks like not moving terribly fast. 32 seconds on the bar, so probably a chance to get into that. It'll be right there. So that is trade number 4 and 5. We're in number 5. That touches and goes break even. Our loss was 35 ticks. 10, so we're back to 256. And we pick up 2, so 254. One trade to go. And that is the short. It's money management. And a small stop out, 736 for the stop. The entry was 739. So 6 ticks there and down 250 ticks. So just over $1,000 loss on the day. Tough day on the unleaded. Then we pick up another partial after our 6th trade, which we're not trading now. We pick up a partial on the short. Actually, stop and reverse keeps us in the long there. So we pick up solid. There would be a solid target 2 there. 70 ticks. and looks like another 72 ticks, 71 or 2. Yeah, 70, looks like 72 ticks to the trailer, so that trade it by itself picks up 142 and would have gotten us to 108. Plus this partial was 82 to 66, so 16, 32. So down 76, but we're also 8 trades in now. And out of our trade plans. That's about where we'll see if and then we have one more beautiful long trade here. Picks it up 83, and that would have put us positive on the 9th trade of the day. Oh my goodness. So we're down 250 after 6 trades, and we get positive after that in the next 3. That's how fast unleaded gas can move. And pound Aussie with a long trade. Nope, money management is right there below target 2. Five minutes to our 10 a.m. crude session. And it looks like YM gave us a short to target 1 for 31 ticks, and it should be a break-even stop. Go ahead and take your 1 tick after you hit target. Don't let it come back and take a small loss there. I would say that long trade was probably avoidable, and that's where we are. So YM giving us some trouble this morning. Russell and the micro NQ both were doing well this morning. Take a look at heating oil. That's a 9:30 start. Short just barely triggered in. Just a matter of timing whether or not you take the full losses on that one. Long. And lots of time to get the order in, and just touches the entry for a stop out. That's 2 losses. And we get an entry touch and a full stop on the that's 3 losses. So definitely a losing session on heating oil this morning. All right. Crude currently in a long that is a valid get in sync at the moment. We'll have to wait another 2+ minutes. And 2 minutes to go. Pound Aussie taking some heat. Micro NQ continuing to post winning trades. And the YM with a long and hitting money management and target one. It's taking a while, but now YM starting to make some progress. And 10 a.m. crude sessions starting now. Time to get an order in. Should be long. Okay, making some movement on crude. YM stopped out and now has a short. As does the MNQ. Micro NQ not moving as fast as it has at times. And the Pound Aussie stopping out. So who all is here this morning? Please do say hello. I see Miles, but I don't know who the other four are. And please do feel free to ask questions. Okay, there is a long set reversal long setup on the micro NQ. That one has touched the stop, but it hit the entry after hitting the stop. So this is a valid long trade, even though the calculator is not going to track it because it doesn't recognize, it doesn't understand what happened first. It only evaluates at the close of the bar, and the bar hit both the entry and the stop. So it doesn't know whether to track or not, so it defaults to not. So there is target one. That's going to need more than that. That's not big enough. 7.5 points. It's 30 ticks. It needs another 14 ticks, I believe it is, to get to break even. All right, so we need 11 points. Okay, it's at money management, so it should be trailing now. $635.50 should be the trailer. All right. Crude got to target one and a partial on second position for a one and done session. So crude is done. For the 10 a.m. session, any questions? Pound Aussie can take more trades, but basically everything else is pretty well done. Another fairly quick session, 30 minutes, and all the charts are done, whether they did their 6 trades or POQ. All right, so Troy will be back in Wednesday. With the way the holidays and travel are falling, looks like Troy's going to be on vacation on Mondays for a while. We won't have. I'll be covering the room next Monday. We will be off of course. We'll be dark, of course, for July the 4th, and Troy will be back on Monday for the first time in July the 11th. But he will be in for the Wednesday sessions as usual. So we'll be on a regular schedule next week. And the rest of this week and next week, the rest of this week will be fairly normal, except that the crude oil inventory report will be on Thursday with the holiday yesterday. Thursday at 11 Eastern, and I will be covering that one, at least tentatively. That from the discussions I had with Troy yesterday. He's going to be traveling again that day, so or at least out of the office that day. No, the micro you're talking about the micro crude, Roger, the MCL. That micro crude will work fine with any of the systems. It's just a different symbol. Now, you have to with catapult. If you're on a catapult, you have to have the catapult energies. But if you can trade the full CL on the strategy you've got, then micro crude should work as well. MCL has roughly half the volume that the full CL contract has. So the chart will look a little different. Not greatly so, but it definitely will have some different trades on it. But if you're talking about the mini crude contract, Q something, I would actually stay very far away from that one. Because it actually is higher risk because of the way it's structured than the regular full crude contract for us. The deliverable is half, but the minimum price movement is 2.5 times. So what happens is it becomes a quarter point market again. Okay, did you get the answer to my question, Roger, or to your question? It becomes a quarter point tick market, and instead of $10 a tick, it's $12.50 a tick. Because the minimum movement is 2.5 cents. I'll be back on Thursday. Troy will be here tomorrow, and I'll be here Thursday. And now, crude inventory report will be on Thursday this week. All right, folks. Looks like we're down to 4, and I don't see any new questions. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for the morning. Quick 45-minute session. But that's where we are. I'll give you 2 or 3 more minutes to get any questions. Have a good one, Miles. All right. We will see everybody tomorrow. Have a good evening, good afternoon, and evening.